here in the wild, where the heart beats free. We're crafting our dreams, just my family and me. From sunrise to sundown, we're making our way, building our legacy, day by day. Welcome to the Wild Heart Podcast, where passion meets purpose. Homeschooling, homestating, living dreams that serve us. Together we're stronger through every stormy weather. The Wild Heart Legacy, bound forever.
Double click. Welcome to the Wild Heart Podcast. I'm Tony.
I'm Erin.
And what's our tagline?
Why do you always ask me?
Because I don't remember.
Where passion meets purpose.
There we go.
It says it in the song.
I know. I wrote the song. What are we talking about today?
You tell me.
Okay, so this was a wild idea I just came up with today. I feel like I've wanted to do more interviewee podcasts. And obviously in the 30 minutes of prep time between the idea and the podcast, which was supposed to happen yesterday, by the way, but that's beyond, what we're capable of explaining today. But
I think that sounds so cryptic. I think we just didn't. You were tired. I was tired. We just couldn't.
We're adulting. Nonetheless, you lost my jive.
Your idea for today.
The idea for today is to have an interview, but we're interviewing someone special. Who are we interviewing?
Something special.
Is it? Or?
Okay, well, we could name it, I guess. We could, you know what? That'll be one of our questions. What would you like us to call it today? We are integrating AI.
Yeah, so
specifically ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep. There's that other voice one, but I don't know much about it, so we're just going to go with ChatGPT today. I've set up a prompt already to kind of prep it for the interview. I've never done this before, so it might be completely wild. Shall we get it right into it?
I mean, I guess so. I want to talk about how we were doing over the last weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe let's recap. What have you been up to?
Surviving, death.
Yeah, there was lots of sickness. The flu, the cold.
Well, we had the cold. Yeah, we had the cold at the beginning of March, and then I was good for a week, and then we all got stomach flus.
Like progressively throughout the family. It kind of just moved right along. The kids had it the shortest. I'm grateful. But
I had it the shortest. I threw up once.
Wow.
That was easy. But then I laid in bed for like the day after.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like the kids had it the shortest that way. Whether they just kind of got up and go or... I don't know.
The little dude had it the shortest. He was the most chill.
Yeah.
The daughter was not as easy.
Chill.
She was very sad as to why she was so sick. I don't like being sick, Mama. She says with a bowl of puke.
Nobody does, kid. Nobody does.
I know. She was so sad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the worst is over now. Touch wood.
Hopefully. I don't like that. I didn't like having a, month where we were all kind of like under the weather in progressive stages.
Just not the best.
No.
But I would say, we came out of it. We're
alive.
We're alive.
Just in time to start some seeds.
Yeah, are we actually? Because I feel like the last two podcasts, I was like, we should start some seeds.
Well,
are we actually going to start?
Too early. Now is a good time to start them.
Okay, we're going to start seeds.
Soon.
Right away. Tomorrow, this weekend.
I work this weekend, so have fun with that.
I will.
Do it with the children.
I also had this idea. So today we had a little bonfire with the kids in the backyard, and I was like, like I like the idea of cooking on the barbecue or on the on the bonfire, and like making it a practice. So obviously we've had hot dogs on the on the bonfire before. Today we had some marshmallows, but I was like, just planning the whole meal for a bonfire, like camping-esque, just kind of prepping the kids for camping.
And you make soup and bannock in the park all the time on the fire.
But like, soup and bannock is one thing, but we'll try something new.
Eggs, bacon, breakfast.
I can't wait to get that griddle going again.
We have cast iron. We could cook on the fire too.
I know, but there's something different on the griddle. Nonetheless, yeah, the barbecue season is pretty much here as well.
Do we have charcoal?
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe I'll smoke something this weekend.
I guess.
Yeah. Dinner plans live. This is what we've come down to. But yeah, going on, just because we don't know how long the interview is going to take, we'll get this started. Are you ready to bring in our guest?
Yes. Please welcome everyone. The amazing.
Well, let's start her up. And so you're going to be hearing it through my phone actually, and hopefully the mic picks it all up.
We'll watch the levels.
We'll watch the levels, and here are the questions. So we kind of prepped a few questions as well. So, hi there. What did you want us to call you today?
You can call me ChatGPT. What's your first question?
Well, thanks for that. How do you define the role of AI in supporting personalized learning in homeschool environments?
Great question. AI can play a supportive role in homeschool.
Please repeat.
We lost her.
Yeah, I guess there's downsides to AI, obviously, right off the hop. Proceed. Connection failed.
Oh, she's like, nah, I don't want to be interviewed today.
Please repeat.
You can call me ChatGPT. What's your first question?
How do you define the role of AI in supporting personalized learning in homeschooling environments?
AI's role in personalized learning for homeschooling is to enhance and tailor educational experiences for each student. It can assess a child's strengths, weaknesses, and learning pace to provide customized resources and activities. This means parents can receive suggestions for learning materials that match their child's needs while also allowing the child to explore subjects they're passionate about. Importantly, AI should act as a support tool, ensuring that the human connection between parent and child remains central to the learning process.
I like that.
That's really good. So, for example, if one thing that comes to mind, if you have two kids that are in two different age brackets, for example, ours are 5 and 2, how could you maybe give a short example of a lesson that you could integrate both kids into?
Absolutely. Let's take a simple nature-themed lesson about leaves. For your 5-year-old, you could focus on identifying different types of leaves, their shapes, and colors, encouraging them to collect and compare. For your 2-year-old, it can be more sensory, letting them touch, feel, and even try simple leaf rubbings with crayons. Both kids can come together to create a collage from the leaves they've collected. This way, the lesson is engaging for both, meeting them at their developmental levels.
That sounds really nice. What strategies would you recommend for parents to effectively oversee AI-driven learning tools?
To effectively oversee AI-driven learning tools, parents should start by familiarizing themselves with the tool's capabilities and limitations. Setting clear goals for what they want their children to achieve with these tools is crucial. Regularly reviewing progress and adjusting the use of the tools based on the child's feedback and results ensures the AI remains a beneficial supplement. It's also important for parents to maintain open communication with their children about their experiences, fostering a balanced relationship between technology and human interaction.
Do you have a question? No. Or you ask the next one.
Okay. How can AI tools be tailored to uphold the Montessori principle of self-directed activity?
AI tools can support the Montessori principle of self-directed activity by offering open-ended, exploratory options. For instance, adaptive learning platforms can present a range of activities or problems, allowing children to choose what interests them most. The AI can then adapt based on their choices, offering gentle guidance or additional resources as needed. By emphasizing process over outcomes and providing feedback that encourages further exploration, AI tools can help maintain the Montessori emphasis on self-guided discovery.
So, what are the safety and privacy considerations parents should keep in mind when children are interacting with the AI tools, or parents?
Safety and privacy are crucial when using AI tools for children. Parents should ensure the tools comply with data protection regulations like COPPA or GDPR to safeguard personal information. They should look for transparency about what data is collected and how it's used. It's also wise to set clear boundaries for screen time and use parental controls to monitor activity. Finally, open communication with kids about online safety is essential so they understand how to protect their privacy.
Yeah, I was going to say this is just an ad lib. I mean, when it comes to screen time, like in general, you don't want too much screen time anyway, right? So I know we limit our kids' screen time to, to make sure that they're, we noticed a difference when there's too much screen time for our kids.
Yeah, when there's too much screen time, we definitely notice that our daughter gets way too overstimulated, and then it's really hard to stop that screen time, or she needs a lot of prompting and awareness that, like, the screen time is ending. Though I do find it depends on what she's doing on the iPad. If she's watching something on the iPad, that's harder to stop than if she's just playing one of her little, like, Khan Academy games, or her Pock games. I think we missed 4.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It's fine. We can
go for it. You ask it.
Discuss the potential of AI in facilitating unschooling practices by supporting child-led learning paths.
AI can greatly enhance unschooling by supporting child-led learning paths. It can provide a vast array of resources tailored to a child's interests, allowing them to explore topics deeply and at their own pace. AI can also adapt in real time, suggesting new avenues for exploration based on the child's evolving curiosity. This approach ensures that learning remains joyful and meaningful, fostering a lifelong love for learning while respecting the child's autonomy.
Joyful and learn.
Could you give me an example of how you would help parent with an unschooling kind of led practice?
Sure. Let's say a child shows interest in astronomy. An AI tool could suggest interactive stargazing apps, documentaries, or virtual tours of space stations. It could recommend hands-on activities like building a simple telescope or tracking moon phases.
Cool.
For parents, the AI could offer guidance on facilitating discussions, connecting with experts for virtual mentorship, or even organizing local astronomy club visits. This keeps learning dynamic, personalized, and rooted in the child's interests.
I love that.
Yeah, it's just goes right into the next question here. Over the next decade, I see AI shaping a lot of specialized roles, and having the parents as kind of generalist educators in homeschooling settings. How do you see this?
I agree. AI can enable parents to become generalist educators by providing specialized resources and support. Over the next decade, I see AI taking on roles like curriculum customization, adaptive learning, and real-time feedback, which allows parents to focus on guiding, mentoring, and fostering a holistic learning environment. This partnership between AI and parents can create a rich, personalized education that still centers on human connection and guidance.
What do you think the limitations of AI are for educational settings, and how can these be addressed?
AI in education has some limitations, such as the lack of emotional intelligence and nuanced understanding that human teachers provide. It may also struggle with context, especially in creative or subjective subjects. To address this, AI should complement, not replace, human interaction.
Yep.
Teachers and parents can act as mediators, ensuring the technology is used appropriately and providing the empathy, encouragement, and critical thinking guidance AI lacks. Regularly updating and refining AI models with diverse data can also help improve its effectiveness.
I was just listening to a podcast today about how AI is going to develop over the next decade as well, and they were just talking about how it's interesting because the learning model, it's getting to the point where AI is learning from itself. So you have DeepSeek, which is the China equivalent of ChatGPT. It's been said that basically DeepSeek trained itself using ChatGPT. So
That's amazing.
and ChatGPT trained itself off the internet. So it's one of those like progressive things that like it's almost deflationary in terms of time and cost, because it's when ChatGPT was reading through the internet, if you will, to train itself, it probably took a long time, and I had to figure a lot of things out. Meanwhile, DeepSeek can expedite that using ChatGPT, and so as they learn from each other now, it'll probably get quicker and cheaper. So, and next iterations are going to be it might get to the point where they're going to be like learning actively from each other. So there's like two AIs basically bouncing back ideas, and then you could have a third AI watching the two AIs learning from the two conversations. That is, so it gets really like
It's AI inception.
it's essentially.
I love it.
But it goes back to the methods of learning, and it's interesting because they talked about just the different the way humans learn, and those coming back around to essentially being copycatted by AI. So like, while the critical thinking aspect is what AI is lacking right now, that doesn't mean that a decade from now it won't have it.
Yeah.
But finally, what do you think the common misconceptions are about AI educating among homeschooling parents?
Common misconceptions among homeschooling parents include the fear that AI will replace human educators or that it's too complex and impersonal. Some worry it might limit creativity or that it's just a one-size-fits-all solution. In reality, AI is meant to be a supportive tool, offering personalized, adaptive learning experiences. It's crucial to emphasize that AI complements, rather than replaces, the irreplaceable human touch in education.
Fair. Do you have any closing thoughts before we end the interview?
Just that AI is an exciting tool for enhancing personalized learning, especially in homeschooling environments. It's important to approach it with an open mind, balancing tech benefits with the invaluable human connection. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for participating.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Have a great day.
I love it.
So that was our interview.
Yeah.
What do you think of our first interview with not a person?
It was wonderful. No, I think it's really interesting because, I mean, there's a lot of different like posts out there of people interviewing or asking ChatGPT or other AIs about various conversations and then recording them and then sharing those on whatever platform.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting when you ask it something like where we definitely see, benefit from it, right? Like I have had multiple times where I've looked at something where, like, I have someone in our co-op has created, or I guess trained, I don't know what you want to call it, but has created their own little like version of ChatGPT, or I don't know what you want to call it, but a thing on ChatGPT that is specific to our location, and like it has all the curriculum information for our province and some of the other details that you would need as a homeschooler. And I use that quite often in helping guide different things in what we do for homeschooling, like active lesson planning. How does this hit different criteria for, or different subject clusters for, you know, reporting for homeschooling and all that stuff. So, I mean, I see a huge benefit to this, and it makes my job so much easier as opposed to literally going through the curriculum and reading everything and knowing what they're, you know, where are we hitting for grade levels and all that stuff. And then, you know, having to either search out curriculum online or to kind of trying to figure out how to do it all on my own. Like, it's so much easier just to be like, hey, I'm looking for, you know, I don't know, daughter is interested in, you know, insert this subject area here. How can I do a fun hands-on experience for her?
Yeah.
Done. Spits me out something easy to do.
Yeah. And from my understanding, like, the even teachers nowadays entering the profession are using the tool to make lesson plans. You know, just the concept that, like, back in the day, teachers would spend hours and hours after class creating their lessons plans for their grade. And, you know, nowadays it's essentially a click of the keyboard and mouse, and they have a lesson plan. Might not be their final iteration, and, you know, the greatest asset, I would say, you know, teachers have over homeschools is that they have the reps over homeschoolers, right? So while we're figuring out every grade as we go, teachers do that the first year, and then they just iterate on that grade over and over and over again, or unless of course they switch grades. So that's why they can specialize in that grade a lot better than, you know, maybe a homeschooler might. But the argument is a teacher that's doing it for the first time is just as good as a homeschool parent, if not the homeschool parent being better because they care more and there's a one-on-one relationship.
You can also specialize a lot more, right? Like, in terms of, I mean, this goes, we've talked about this before, where in a school you have to go at the pace of the lowest
common
kid, right? So the kid who learns the slowest, you kind of have to go at their pace or they get left behind. So those who are a little bit quicker and get things a little bit faster have to be held back. Whereas we could literally, like, you know, oh, she's picked up, you know, XYZ, awesome, moving forward. Like, one of the things I keep telling our daughter is that, like, we're not restricted to just your grade level. So if, you know, for example, with math, she's doing really well. She can, you know, she's got the basics down. She's got some adding. Yeah, like, we're working into the multiplication, but she, you know, she has moments where she's at grade level and then above, and then sometimes she needs to, like, come back down. I asked her, was it the other day? I was asking her, oh, she likes to play with her fake money.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was telling her different ways she could make, I think I told her 80. She asked me how much something was, and I told her it was $80. And she goes, okay. She counted me out 80, or 8 tens.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. But now how many tens do you have left? And she didn't have as many left as she needed. And I was like, okay, let's figure out other ways that we could do 80, right? Like, we could do 2, 4, 6, 8 in 20s, right? We could do a 50 and a 30, you know?
50 and a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a cashier job right off the hop at 5 years old, so. But, yeah, essentially, you know, just getting the introduction to a lot of these things is half the battle, I would say. And yeah, I would say AI is a great asset for a lot of these lesson plans and how to build on it.
Even just resources, right? Like,
Yep.
you know, asking it like, hey, these are the things that we're interested in. Like, its example for the astronomy, right? Like, hey, we're interested in this. What are some things in the area that we could do? Or, you know, what books, videos, documentaries, whatever would include this?
Who would be like a great person to watch on YouTube for this?
Yeah.
You know, it's it'll have the resources, and you know, you can spend the hours looking it up, or you could start from a starting point of having everything and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
All the preliminary research has kind of been done. So yeah, I would say if you aren't using it in your homeschooling, give it a shot. You might be pleasantly surprised. You know, it's one of these tools that's just emerging, and it's been emerging for a little while now, and I think it's got to the point where it's very usable. And yeah, if you have any good positive stories or negative stories, let us know. I mean, we want to know about it all, and if it's not working or working for you, keep us posted.
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning, we missed this yesterday, but normally we do it every second Wednesday. If you enjoy this kind of content and want to see more, give us a like, follow, subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTubes. Eventually we'll be live on a lot of the other platforms, but
Okay.
for now, YouTube is where we're at. You know, TikTok has lives and whatnot, but
Yeah.
all good. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tony,
I'm Erin.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.